Firms are fleeing out of forbearance above the absence of advance in the Brexit negotiations, a main industry organisation has alerted Theresa May. The UK Chambers of Trade has published a listing of 23 actual world questions how it says promptly requirement answers as the UK's EU output approaches. The listing relating topic consisting tank, tariff, customs officer and regulation. The BCC told companies were no more clear on these crucial issues rather than they were once following the plebiscite. The questions involve, the recent 10 days include seen a quantity of top-profile business community, consisting bus and BMW, alert how future invest in the UK was already by overview and how outgoing the EU out of a transactions could see manufacture relocated. Several office ministers include sacked these, but the CEO General of the BCC, Adam Marshall, protected the order of firms to say out while pragmatic questions touching their industry and the livelihoods of millions remained unanswered. Above the history 2-year, business community include been patient, Mr. Marshall told. Currently, in the period fleeing out front of the UK's output of the EU, industry forbearance is achieving break spot keys period for political community to halt the squabbling and the Westminster spot scoring, and begin setting the domestic economical concern at first. These are not horn-sounding or specific interests. They are the pragmatic, actual world concerns of business community of each amount and segment, in each portion of the UK. A UK by the government representative told, "We're sure of receive a nice transactions in the EU to provide trading remnant as complementary and frictionless as probable." Ministers go on to job close in industry to know their concerns, and by effectively negotiations the realization time in the EU before December 2020, companies can conduct on trade in trust on the identical regulation as they do currently. We include put striker feasible proposals to the EU on a band of areas of the supporting to safety, and the White's document, that will be published soon, will go on to driving the trial striker. Recent monthly, the BCC cut its UK increase prediction for 2018 of 1.4% to 1.3%, precautionary how the economics many faces its weakest year with the finance meltdown. Uncertainties about Brexit, concern bet rises, threats of trading wars and growing oil prices were all suffering mood, the BCC told. In else growth, the vocational and industry services justice, that represents accounting firms and legislative services, has spelled to the main secretary reflecting fears how its members' interests are not creature undertaken in expense in the Brexit talks. The PBSC told, "We terror how both of the intermediate and definitive transactions in the EU will not completely involve the basic requirements to escape supported damage to our sectors and our clients, and thereby the broad economics."